about multiplying integers. Now, multiplying integers, I think, is easier than adding and subtracting. So there are a couple of ways to think about this. One of them, and if you understand the idea that if we've got the same signs, it's going to be positive. If we have different signs, we're going to have a negative. So we can go through several examples looking at these. So if our example is, let's make it 2 times 3. You can see they're both positive, positive, positive. So they're both the same. My answer is going to be positive. So 2 times 3 is 6. My answer is positive 6. If I have negative 4 times negative 5, negative, negative, they're the same. So my answer is going to be positive. So then all I have to do is multiply, and I end up with 20. I can look at a couple more examples. Let's say 5 times negative 2. So this one we have a positive and we have a negative. That means my result is going to be negative. So 5 times 2 is 10, but because they're different signs, it's going to be a negative 10. I can have a negative 7 times positive 3. Again, we've got a negative and a positive, so my answer is going to be negative. Then all I have to do is multiply, which gives me a 21. So that's one quick method. Another way to look at it is, we call it the 4 faces. So imagine a face. You got a positive eye and a positive eye, and that makes the answer positive. He's got a big old smile on his face. And this is my first situation. Second situation, he's got minus for eyes. They're the same, so then my answer is going to be positive. Smiling again, because it's positive. And that's my second face. Then I can have a positive and a negative. That's going to result in a negative answer. And there's his face. Or I can have a negative number times a positive number, again resulting in a negative product. So there are my 4 faces. Sorry, he's a little squishy. So I can look at the problems. I can look at 2 times 8. So this one's got a positive and a positive. This matches my first situation. So I can see here, my answer has to be positive. So 2 times 8 is positive 16. I can look at an example on the next one. Negative 3 times negative 4. Negative, negative. Those are my eyes that are negatives. That results in a positive product. So we get positive 12. I can have a negative 6. Oops, let's make it positive 6 times negative 1. We've got a positive and a negative, which means my answer has to be negative. And then I do the multiplication. 6 times 1 gives me 6. My last situation, negative 8 times positive 3. We have a negative and a positive, which means my product will end up being negative. Then 8 times 3 gives me 24. So let's just look at a bunch of problems and see what we can do with them. So let's go to 3. Oops, let's move that back. Right, 3 times negative 9. We've got a positive and a negative. That means my result will be negative. Multiply them together, we get 27. Negative 20 times negative 2. A negative and a negative, they're the same sign, so my product will be positive. And when I multiply, I get positive 40. Let's take 4 times 3. They're both positive. So if I've got a positive and a positive, my product is going to be positive. 4 times 3 gives me 12. Negative 4 times positive 9. Negative and a positive gives me a negative, and 4 times 9 is 36. So same, makes it positive. That'll give us the two faces, a plus and a plus. Give me a plus for a nose, or a negative and a negative. Also give me a plus sign for a nose. If the signs are different, we get a negative. So if I've got a negative and a positive, my product will be negative. If I have a positive first and a negative second, my product will still be negative. So same positive, different negative.